Original.
Hello and welcome to Web Crawlers. This is our mailbag episode where we read your emails, play your voicemails, and read your reviews. I am Allie Siegel.
I am Melissa Stettin.
And I'm producer Maria.
You got any reviews? I just saw a 3-star review. This is fun podcast, but too many mailbag episodes.
There's only one a week.
Don't listen to them then.
You guys, there's only one a week. Come on.
Too many,
jerk.
one a week. The mailbag episodes are for the real fans anyway, you know?
Yeah, don't listen to them. Then just listen to the one real episode a week, freak.
Freak. This is from Bridgie B812. Slimy yet satisfying. This podcast is inexplicably addicting and Craig is an unsung hero.
Wow. Slimy yet satisfying. That's what Simba says about the bugs that Timon and Pumbaa eat.
Okay, this one's from Kristen. Always good, 5 stars. In the words of Lady Gaga, a national treasure just like Allie, talented, brilliant, incredible, amazing, show-stopping, spectacular, never the same, totally unique, completely not ever been done before, unafraid to reference or not reference, put it in a blender. Have you ever seen that Lady Gaga quote?
No.
Oh, I've heard about this. What is it?
Oh my God, it's so funny. It's like this weird video. I think they ask her about something, like maybe it's like one of her videos or like her upcoming album, and she explains what it's going to be, and it's complete nonsense. But anyways, this podcast genuinely got me through 2020. Seeing a new episode in my feed is truly the highlight of my day every time. Just keep listening because this review takes a real turn. Don't stop doing what you're doing, seriously. My mental health literally depends on it. P.S. I was kidnapped once. Maybe I'll call in someday and tell you about it. XOXO.
Yeah.
Please.
Yes.
Yeah. Crazy. This one is Love It or Leave It and has a special shout out to something Melissa did great once. A fun time. I love weird web mysteries, and it's so refreshing to hear them coming from women who don't take themselves or the subjects too seriously. You learn a bit and laugh a lot, which makes for a great balance. Kudos, too, for the moments where they step in and do some serious fact checking rather than letting guests use a platform to spread dangerous conspiracy theories, which is when Mark, the flat earther, went off, and
Fucking
then Melissa,
Mark, my enemy.
Melissa went back and added real facts, which is great. So those are our new ones. Thank you, guys.
We got some emails. This is from Patreon, Stephanie. So remember, I think it was 2 mailbags ago, someone left this weird voicemail where they had a dream. Stephanie said, I feel like maybe producer Maria got it, but it went over Allie's head that the dream call was just reciting the lyrics to Rainbow Connection from the Muppets.
I know so many people have mentioned this, even on the Patreon, and I don't mean to be offensive. I just didn't think it was funny. And so I didn't laugh. And then everyone is like, Allie didn't get it. I just didn't. It wasn't laugh out loud funny to me. So I didn't acknowledge it or have a big reaction.
Wow.
It wasn't not funny to me, but it didn't. I don't want to have the pressure of always having to think everything's hilarious. You know what I mean? I just
yeah, and we don't want to put that on you. But I guess in the future, what you should say is, I understand it.
I understood that joke.
I understood the joke. I'm not laughing, but I understood it.
I will say, just because no joke, people on the Patreon were that went over Allie's head. I know the Rainbow Connection. My brother actually wrote the Muppets, one of the Muppets movies, and starred in it.
Right.
I grew up watching the Muppets. I understood the joke.
Yeah.
Maybe the reason I didn't laugh is because I'm so engrossed in the Muppets community. So I've seen it so many times.
Too close.
I'm too close.
You're too close to Kermit. You found it offensive on some level.
I was actually,
yes,
I was offended, actually. The voicemail really offended me, if anything.
Jeez.
And I was pretty upset for a while after.
All the sluppets in the Discord are going to be mad.
Yeah, but I'm okay now. No, I understood the joke. I thought it was funny. I am engaged in it, but it wasn't laugh out loud funny.
I don't even know what the Rainbow Connection is. I don't know.
Wow,
It's
Melissa.
It's Kermit's song. One day
Why
we'll
are
find it, the rainbow,
the rainbow connection,
the
lovers, the dreamers, and me.
all of us
Doesn't
under
ring a
spell
bell.
will know
Doesn't
that it's
ring a
well.
bell. Sorry.
Why are there so many songs about rainbows and what's, on, the other side?
What if I actually didn't get the joke and I just spent the last week like really trying to memorize the lyrics?
I get Rainbow
I
Connection.
did get it. And in fact,
I get
here's
it.
the entire song.
I get it. And you know what? I know exactly what it was.
And I
just
know the
think
lyrics.
It's funny. That's why I didn't acknowledge it. That would be amazing.
No, so for those who are worried, I got it.
Well, thank God.
This email's from Connie. It says, solved love life synchronicities. Dear web crawlers, in a recent mailbag episode, a listener wrote that her mother had the same birthday as her husband's mother, and also her grandmother had the same birthday as her husband's grandmother. Tell that bitch that it's not a coincidence. She married her brother. Sick. Love the pod. Stay well.
Wow, so lucky.
Tell that bitch it is not a coincidence. And then there's one more email from Jill. Hi, ladies. Love the pod. Want you to know that you three ladies are just the best. I look forward to new episodes and feel like I'm having a sit down with my sister friends every time. You
yes,
make me
queen.
both laugh and think. Thanks for that. Honk honk. Ran across this article and thought you might find it interesting as well. It's about the Viennese expressionist artist Oskar Kokoschka and his reaction to a broken love affair. What was the reaction, you say? To have a life-size, creepy-ass doll made as a substitute for his unrequited love.
Oh.
Just wait until you see a pic of the doll. He wanted it to be a lifelike representation of his love, but what he got is definitely not that. Anyway, he took this thing to the opera, hosted parties in her name, painted portraits of her, and finally murdered it in his backyard as the culmination of a party. The police even raided his house the next morning looking for the headless corpse of a woman, but lo and behold, it was the doll. Just so you might enjoy this wackadoodle story too, here's the link, your friend Jill. It's this guy who created this basically life-size doll of his ex-girlfriend and like hung out with it.
That's wild.
Here's like
Good for
one of
him.
the pictures.
Good for him.
Good for him. Honestly, though, like, for real, though, better than him killing his ex. You know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
like better, like good that he like made a doll, a replica,
Oh
and
my
like killed that was
God.
weird instead.
This photo.
It's
What is this
truly
photo?
Bizarre.
That's the
So
doll.
that's the doll?
That's the doll.
What's it made out of?
It looks like
What
it's
is
made out of
that?
putty. Like it's
That's material? What is that?
I don't know.
oh my god. Here's a better image of it that's in color. It actually looks like a woolly mammoth. It looks like it's I don't know if this is it, but it looks like it's like furry. Like, is it?
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I don't
It's like
know.
cloth.
Yeah, it's like the abominable snowman. And then with like a mannequin head.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
And the eyes are looking off to the right. Like the eyes aren't even
Ew.
looking straight forward. They're looking to the side.
Wow. Fine curly horse hair. Layer of pouches stuffed with down cotton wool.
oh my god, it's like pillows with like a mannequin head. That's so for an artist, that's not great work.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, that's so weird.
It's like the first sex doll.
Yeah. Okay. Voicemail?
Hi, web crawlers. This is Kira. I've been listening since either day one or episode 2. And honestly, I found you guys. I swear it was through Apple Podcasts. It was advertised to me as new and upcoming. And honestly, it was to die for. I love you guys. But the reason I'm calling mostly is, first, I want to apologize, I guess, to Allie. I sent in an email a while ago when we were talking about synchronicities. As soon as you learn the proper way to pronounce the word, you suddenly start hearing it everywhere. And I mentioned how Allie does say the word differently. She says it as different.
I do. I say different.
I noticed the past couple episodes, the Britney Spears episode, you said different with D, not as different.
I did.
I want to say sorry first, because if in any way my mentioning that brought it to your attention in a negative way that made you want to change it, I want you to know you should never have to change anything about yourself. You guys are so perfect. You've gotten us through so much stuff. And I want to apologize for that. But I also want
I
to
didn't
say,
even notice.
Congratulations, you've done a very good job in correcting your speech. My sister has had a speech impediment nearly her whole life, and it takes a lot of work to do something that is fundamentally different about yourself. So that's the first thing. Then the second thing I wanted to do is I just wanted to say thank you. I know a lot of the people who call in, they always say, oh, ignore that, or I'm sorry for this, and they seem all nervous, and I'm totally nervous. But I wanted to say thank you because you guys have never made fun of any of us. And I think that's part of the reason we feel so able to be ourselves with you guys. And I think that's part of why we love you guys so much, because
I'm fully crying.
I just want to say I love you and thank you. And my 3 minutes is up in like 3 seconds. So bye. La, la, la.
That's so nice.
Oh my God, that's amazing. No, I do. I was not offended. I do say different. If I said different,
I feel like you kind of change it up.
I maybe change it, maybe depending on whether I got a good night's sleep or how much coffee I've had. I no, but I do say different, I think, most of the time. That's so sweet. Yeah, we love our listeners. And if we ever do make fun of someone, it's definitely in jest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next voicemail.
Hey, web crawlers. I literally just called in, but I'm watching your next episode on Patreon and the video, and you're all talking about how making your poofy hair higher makes you look better and all the different theories. And I love your theories. Yeah. They're great. Symmetry. How come I can't say that word? Symmetry. Yeah. Symmetry and all that stuff. But all I can think of is those weird elongated skulls they found forever ago. And they theorized that the people would put boards on their babies' heads and bind their heads to the board to make their skulls stretch out. So I don't know if that's part of it, but that's all I could think of. So anyway, yeah. La, la, love you guys. Bye.
Wait, what?
Oh yeah, the cone head skulls.
Oh my God.
Google image cone head skulls. How weird. Are these real? This is crazy.
Whoa. Those are like Mars Attacks aliens. That's crazy. This is freaking me out.
So weird.
Isn't it weird that we have skulls and bones?
It's crazy. I look at Asher all the time and wonder how big his brain is.
So
it
tiny.
Must be the size of a clementine
just
orange.
Put your hands around your pet's head. It's so tiny.
It's so tiny. It's so crazy.
Okay, next voicemail.
Hey, web crawlers. It's me again.
Oops, sorry.
3 for 3, tic-tac-toe. Do I win anything? Yeah, right. Anyway, so I'm just watching your Dyatlov Pass update and the official ruling being an avalanche. I also used to think there was no possible way to be an avalanche. There's been crazy weather, as everyone knows lately, tons of snow in Utah specifically. And the problem with that is it's been on a layer of really shitty snow that has been crappy all freaking winter long. So we have 3, 4, 5 feet of really good, solid, thick, moist, I know people hate that word, but moist snow. And it was something along the lines of 20-something odd naturally caused or backcountry skier caused avalanches in 2-3 days in that one single weekend. 7 people died in one. And so they did a special report on it. And the thing with the special report is they showed us how bad these avalanches can get, these rare avalanches. It's not just snow. And it's not just a shit ton of snow, because it is a rare shit ton of snow, metric tons worth of snow. And it gets up to 45 miles an hour. A human can run that fast, but not for very long. And then in the snow, it's near impossible. So if they did run from an avalanche, I totally believe it. But the other thing is, it's not just snow, it's chunks of ice, it's solid, huge chunks of rocks that it pulls from the hillside. It's big old branches, full on fucking trees in these avalanches. So it could cause all these injuries that were the car crash-like injuries. And I do believe that scavengers definitely would have gone for the ice first, because that's what you do if you scavenge. I totally believe the avalanche. And the thing that could have caused the avalanche is, get this, thunder and lightning. there have been, I never knew this, thunder and lightning in snowstorms. My dad works at Alta up in Utah. He sent me a recording one day of full-on 3 thunder lightning strikes in the span of the Snapchat video, which is like, I don't know, 100 seconds or something. I believe it. Thunder, boom, not Russian sonic weapon, unfortunately, causes the avalanche. They're woken by the thunder. They know exactly what's coming. They book it. And if they had to try and unbury some of those, that...
Oh, I think there's one...
Hi, web crawlers. No wonder everyone sounds sheepish when they call back getting cut off. That's kind of... Goodbye. Yeah, anyway, if they had to unbury someone from an avalanche, if you aren't sticking out and you don't have the avalanche gear, like an avalanche parachute, or even with a tracker, because half the people who died in the Utah avalanches had all that stuff, the second that snow stops moving, it is solid as cement. You cannot move enough to breathe. So unless you suck in and hold your lungs really widely open and you're buried, you can't take another breath unless you're like shallow breathing and then you hyperventilate and die faster. So it's just, avalanches are no joke. Like, honestly, it's scary shit. I would never, ever go skiing outside of a groomed area. I get full-on access to Alta because my papa works up there. It's the best snow on Earth. I don't know where I went just there. I'm born and raised in Utah. But anyway, that's all I was calling for. I hope I don't have to call back again, like you guys forces or something. But I hope that as I finish this episode, I don't have another thought because I can't help myself. I have had phone anxiety for years, full on. Threw up every day, Monday through Friday, for a year because I had a phone job and undiagnosed phone anxiety.
Oh my
I thought I was dying.
Oh my God.
Anyway, you guys, I love you. Seriously, you make us happy. So thank you. Bye.
We gotta do an episode on phone anxiety.
Yeah. Oh my God. I think I have that
for sure
too.
have that. Like I hate calling anything to make appointments or anything.
I hate the phone.
Hate it.
It's the worst. It's the worst.
I fucking hate it too. It's so bad. It's the worst.
Hey, web crawlers. It's Rachel. I've called before. You might not remember me, but you did say I love our listeners after my last call, so I feel like we're pretty close. I was listening to the Casey Anthony podcast and thinking about like how and why it happened and how sad it is, especially like the beginning of the story. And I just want to disclaimer say I'm not excusing anything that Casey did. It was absolutely terrible. She definitely killed her kid. That's evil, and justice was never served on that. But I've been listening to another Erios podcast, The Alarmist, and I found myself asking, like, who is to blame besides Casey? Of course, she's to blame. I can't help but think that her lying habit had to come from somewhere. She was so young when she got pregnant, and she felt the need to lie to her parents. It was clearly, like, a terrible thing in her parents' eyes. She had to hide it. It was, like, taboo. There are so many confusing and traumatic narratives about becoming pregnant as a young woman. On the one hand, 19 is so young in our society, and people of that age are generally considered to be children in many ways. They aren't told that they're capable of being good mothers, although many teen mothers are great mothers. I feel like with this cultural shame and infantilization, I'm not surprised that young women snap and kill their babies. Like, there's so much stigma and so many problems with it. I'm not surprised it happens. I also feel like the coverage of the case was handled really badly. I always assumed she was like 35 or something when the case was being covered, but really she was like kind of a fucked up kid or young adult. Anyways, my point is basically Casey's terrible and definitely at fault, but there's like a bigger picture of stigma around teen pregnancy, abortion access, infantilization of young people, and then treating those stunted, infantilized young people as adults when we know the brain doesn't even finish forming until 25. That all seems fishy to me, at least. I mean, she did it, but like, there's some societal shit going on too.
Yes, there is.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's interesting. We should get more into like the causality, like the psychological undertones of like why these crimes and stuff happen. And things like that.
Yeah.
There's a lot. Yeah, because she was like treated like an adult when she like. It's like when kids, like young kids, murder their parents, like when they're 16 or 15, then they're tried as adults. It's like you can't really.
Yeah.
Like, there's something really wrong with them, but you can't really treat them like an adult because they're not.
Yeah.
Okay, next voicemail.
This message is for the web crawlers. For your Rachel, I loved your remix. It just has such a ring to it.
Wait, that's so crazy. Didn't Rachel
Becca,
just call?
I'm sorry.
I think so.
My mom... My mom was like, you ramble. I played her voicemail, and I do. I'm sorry. And Betty was like, you need to calm down.
Wait, pause it for a second. You guys don't think that's as crazy as I do, that she's literally talking about Rachel from last
who just called.
episode, or like she's talking to Rachel from another episode, and now we're playing.
Is it the same Rachel?
Yeah, it has to be. And now she's addressing Rachel. We just
that
played
is
Rachel's
bonkers.
voicemail. That's crazy.
That's bonkers. Yeah.
Okay.
I have like severe.
Sorry, I just wanted that
ADHD.
acknowledged.
But I love you, and you guys are amazing and incredible. And if anyone listening is not following the web crawlers on all social media platforms, subscribe to their Patreon, and leaving 5-star reviews, then what are you doing?
Thank you.
So, why was it? Oh, Allie, yeah, what? Like, that's not, I don't feel like that's a good update on the Dyatlov Pass, because what about the radiation? That was fucking weird. Like, how do you explain that by an avalanche? And also, Melissa, I was listening to the Big Ones episode, and I felt like I had to just personally apologize to you for asking about the miniature house. I wanted to get it for my sister, and I did Google it.
Oh, no.
But I just couldn't find that specific one. And it had kitty cats, and that's why I wanted it for her. So, sorry about that.
Melissa, did you shame her for asking what glue you use?
No.
Oh, I remember. You were like, oh,
We're like, where do I get
should
this? Where do I get this? Where do I get this? And I finally was excited. Was just like responding to so many people.
You snapped.
And I realized, like, but I just posted it in my
Becca
stories.
felt attacked.
No, I think I responded to some people. No, I said, oh boy, everything's fine. It's great. Ask me questions. It's great.
Wow.
It's fine.
I bombard you guys a lot, so I'm so sorry. But I just fucking love you. And also, Maria, sorry. Well, I guess I'm not really sorry, actually, for the singing. I guess I'm just saying hi. I'm just saying hi. I always just say hi. I'm sorry. This is so annoying. You can just leave it. I feel like there was something else. No, I don't remember. Okay. You, Jesus Christ. Why does this happen every time? You ladies have a good night. That's the end. I don't know. Okay. Penelope says bye. Good night.
Oh,
Becca's the best.
Everyone's the best.
Hi, this is for the web crawlers. My name's Alexis. I called like 2 weeks ago.
Alexis.
Maybe 3. I haven't heard my voicemail yet. I don't know what kind of backlog you have. I'm not going to blame you guys. But it is one with a really good ghost story on it.
Oh,
So I hope you...
Yeah, that's Alexis.
Came on the live show and she told the story. And she's like, I left a voicemail.
Yes, she did. But she had a few stories, she thinks. Yeah.
But I just listened to a different mailbag episode that you put out like today, whatever the hell that date is. And someone was talking about relationship synchronicities. And I never really thought about that. The fact that I think I might have them. Where like, okay, when I was 22, I fell off a cliff, like a 35-foot cliff and fractured my skull in like 4 places. I almost died, but I guess what I didn't. So
oh my
cool.
God.
Like that's not really like the point. And then I want to say like 2 years later, I ended up like kind of casually dating this guy that ended up falling off a cliff and dying, which is wild.
What?
But
God,
then
I'm so sorry.
the next person, like, so I don't know, he died and then a month had gone by and I still hadn't like hooked up with anyone else because, you know, a guy died. And then I finally went on like my first like Tinder date. We ended up hooking up. He ended up being an asshole, but whatever. That's always how Tinder dates go, I guess. So that's fine. But after we had hooked up, I actually saw that he had this tattoo and I asked him about it.
and he said, "Oh, this is actually a tattoo dedicated to my ex that fell off a cliff and died." So not only did I fall off a cliff to somehow live, but I then ended up dating a guy that fell off a cliff. And then the next guy that I hooked up with, immediately after that cliff guy, also had an ex that fell off a cliff and died. I don't know. That might just be that might not be nothing to be synchronicity. But, how many people do you actually know in one, lifespan? How many people do you all personally know fell off a cliff and died? Because I personally didn't know any until I did it. And now they just keep coming into my life, falling off cliffs and dying, and it's wild. I don't know what's going on.
Crazy.
Don't go to your cliffs. Bye.
Bye. Oh my God, that's crazy.
I think that this is past life stuff. I think that in a past life that she and her boyfriend, who unfortunately passed away, and then maybe this other guy she went on a date with, were all in a past life, climbing a mountain or something, and maybe all passed away on this cliff, and then they've all reunited in this life somehow.
That's crazy.
Synchronicity-wise.
That's wild.
I mean, that's the only explanation I can think of. Obviously, the weirdest explanation. But
I would never go near a
that
cliff.
has to be past life stuff. How,
That's crazy. Okay, next voicemail.
Hello.
Oh.
This here message is for the
Jeb!
web crawlers.
Jeb.
This here
I've been
is
so concerned.
award-winning voicemailer, Jeb. Now, y'all haven't heard from me for a while, and that's because I've been working crazy hours, 60, 65 hours a week, and then have to homeschool my
God
son, and it's crazy. So I haven't been getting a lot of sleep and whatnot. But I've been listening to y'all, and I really appreciate the award, and I want y'all to know that y'all brought a tear to Jeb's eye. And thank you for voting for me. And all those that didn't vote for me, I'm still going to leave voicemails for you too. That was stupid. I'm sorry. Anyway, Alan, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm doing good too. You'll get it. It's a pretty good. It's just an improv bit. I don't know why every time I call you can't catch on, but it happened. We'll get there. Anyway.
She just did. She did catch on.
I did it today. We got it.
I'm catching up on all your shows there, and all right then. I'll talk to you soon. All right. Bye.
Wow, Jeb. It's good to hear from you.
Nice to hear from
Jeb.
Jeb.
Working 65 hours a week, homeschooling kids. Jeez Louise.
That's crazy. I can't even imagine, man.
Okay, 2 more voicemails.
Hi, this message is for the web crawlers. I'm Caitlin, and I'm from Toronto, and I actually just came across your podcast probably 2 months ago.
Wow.
And anyway, I was listening to one about Brittany Murphy a couple of days ago, and then just listened to your one on Britney Spears' conservatorship.
Oh, I know what you're going to say.
I just read an article that says that Britney Spears actually used to own the home that Brittany Murphy died in, and she sold it to her in 2003 because she had a bad feeling about it. She had someone do a Reiki something or other, and afterwards it just gave her a really weird feeling, so she got rid of it, but that ended up being the house that Brittany Murphy died in. So I thought that was really cool to tie the two together, and also they had the same name, so neat. I was originally going to call because I have a really creepy paranormal story from my childhood, and my sister and I used to play with these kids next door, and we used to play with the 2 kids who were about our age. And then apparently they had a younger sister named Elizabeth. And so we play in their basement. We play hide and seek. A lot of the times it was in these closets that were full of fur coats. They just had a weird basement. And anyway, we get to probably be in our late teens, early 20s. And my sister and I are talking about this. And my mom goes, "No, they only had 2 kids." And we're like, "Wait, what?" We're like, "Who the heck was Elizabeth?" And Elizabeth must have been ghost or a demon or something. I don't know, but we both have vivid memories of playing with this little girl that apparently didn't exist. So anyway, love your podcast. Hope that, hope to keep listening to it. Okay, bye.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Oh my God, that's crazy. Also, the Britney Spears story is from We Need to Talk About Britney on Erios podcast.
That's right.
Yeah.
Erios podcast. Check it out, you guys. And John Tenney's going to be a guest on it today. We're going to be interviewing him
for the Britney podcast?
Yes, because we're going to be talking about what was happening in that house that Britney may have seen.
Oh, got it. Interesting. Yeah. Wow, crazy. Who is the host of We Need to Talk About Britney again?
Jen Zaborowski.
Nice. And that is a great Erios podcast all about Britney Spears that you can find on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify, right?
And Maria actually told us the Britney Spears story before that podcast aired. And
before
we were
dropped. So we were just sitting on that knowledge.
Shocked.
It was a hot tip. Now, this last voicemail, I want to preface it with, this is a caller that called in thinking that this message didn't come through because it's a 415 area code. I believe this message is coming through. There was another 415 caller that we couldn't understand.
Okay.
Oh, hi. This message is for the web crawlers, and my name is Daniel, and I just want to give you a call and say huge compliments. Your show keeps me entertained a lot. It happened again last night where I basically fell asleep to one of your shows, and then like in the morning I have to listen to it again because I can't fall asleep during it, and then the next morning I take a bath or something, and then listen to it, and I'm like, oh yeah, that happened. Probably sounds really creepy and weird, but like you helped me fall asleep, so which is great, especially right now. And I want to see if or ask if Melissa is German. I think she said something about the Hinterkaifeck episode. I'm German. Her accent is spot on. Super cool. And again, you guys keep me entertained.
Wow.
I love the show, especially Melissa. She cracks me up. I think she's great.
I'm Hilda.
And yeah, looking forward to any new episode. And that was me. Bye-bye.
Wow. Melissa, let's hear some of that German accent that he's saying is spot on.
Das ist Hilda.
Wow.
Das ist Hilda.
Wow. Yeah, so you're German in what? German in English?
German in English. What? Mostly German, though.
Nice. I'm Russian and Scottish. Mostly Russian.
Maria's an Italian stallion.
Yeah, I'm like a bot. I'm a real life bot. And Maria, what are you?
I'm Italian Irish.
Ah, that makes a lot of sense.
And German. My mom's side is like Irish German. So Italian Irish German.
Wow.
Very sexy, guys. Well, that's this episode of Mailbag. Again, if you don't want to hear the voicemails, don't listen to the Mailbag episodes. Please keep all your voicemails and emails coming. We love them so much. We love you guys so much. You really feel like our family. At least for me, I can't speak. Maria talks a lot of shit about everyone. Anyways, I am Allie. I understood the Rainbow Connection joke, Siegel, but I liked it, but I just didn't have the energy to respond full force, but I really enjoyed it, and I enjoy all of you. Siegel?
I'm Melissa. I don't know what the hell the Rainbow Connection is, Stetton.
And I'm Maria. I got it, and I laughed. Blasucci.
Wow.
Okay, adios.
Adios.
An Erios original.
Powered by Acast.